put our staff directory on our website. That includes me, every executive, every manager, every employee. This is a common practice at many corporations, but it was a big deal for the Toronto Community Housing. Why? Because it had never been done before. When I got there, the only phone number on the website was our call center, which meant a long wait before a resident could even speak to a person. That is not good service and not as helpful as it could be. I told my managers and executives that yes, even they need to be willing to take a call from residents and listen. Even when we don't have the answers, we have a responsibility to listen and to respond. I wanted my managers and my staff to understand that we're all in this together with our residents. Like the Reverend Martin Luther King said, we may have come over here on different ships, but now we're all in the same boat. It may seem like a big deal. It was pretty simple to do, but putting those phone numbers out there represented a sea change and openness for the company. It was a first step in rebuilding trust and credibility. My second core level of change was to refocus my staff on what I call Social Housing 101. Social Housing 101 means we manage the properties well and we keep our facilities in good state of repair. And it means we serve the needs of our vulnerable residents by helping to connect them with community social services. Good service comes from a professional workforce. I am establishing common standards of professionalism for my staff, everything from a dress code to standard voice messages. I expect my staff to do good work, great work, and I believe it's important to recognize and thank people for a job well done. I have started an Employee of the Month award program, and I have created an annual President's Award, which recognizes those employees who keep their eye on the prize of rebuilding our company's credibility. The staff means we're not a one-time deal. We were committed to bring the frontline staff together every 3 months to discuss how we can deliver better service. The second set of meetings took place in October, again with no managers in the room so staff could speak freely. Then I held a separate meeting with the supervisor managers to tell them what I heard. Someone had to break the news to them. My third core lever of change is to build better partnerships with others in the city. Toronto Community Housing is a housing provider, a landlord. We are not a social service agency. But by working with community partners, we can team up with others to help create healthy, vibrant communities. For example, the Rookie League is a youth baseball program in partnership with the Blue Jays. That has been around for some time and continues to grow. This summer, more than 900 kids in 44 communities took part, the most ever. It doesn't happen in the United States, ladies and gentlemen. It happens here in this great city in Toronto. Also, for the first time, we sent a group of kids to the tournament, held at the same time as the Major League All-Star Game, which took place this year in Kansas City, Missouri. For those young people, this road trip was a dream come true. They flew in an airplane, the first for most of them, for many of them. They played against youth from other North American cities. They caught fly balls in the outfield during the home run derby. What an occurrence, what an experience. For the kids, it was a life-changing event. For us, it was an outstanding example of the value of partnerships in connecting our residents to opportunities. We're doing the same thing with the Kickstart, a new program in partnership with the Maple Leafs to bring soccer to our youth. It is a great fit for our residents, especially those who are newcomers to Canada, like myself, and who played the beautiful game before they moved here. These types of youth programs are critical, and I share a particular passion for enriching the lives of our young people. Since we were talking about my first days, 100 days here, let's talk about Danzig. I wanted to tell you about Danzig, both the shooting that occurred this past summer and the community. Some in the media called the shooting at Danzig Street my baptism by gunfire. Coming as it did is 1 month after I joined the corporation. And 2 days after Danzig shootings, there was another fatal shooting in Lawrence Heights. The Danzig shooting was a devastating event, both for the people who live in the community and for the rest of the city. But having now spent a fair amount of time in that neighborhood, I feel that it was an anomaly. I walked around Danzig for the next day and the next night. There was a lot of hugs and a lot of tears. A lot of grief, of course. My staff was pretty shaken up too, and it was important for me to spend time with them. Also, I spent time with the family of the young girl who was killed. These are heartbreaking conversations. We are trying to set up a scholarship in her name to help other young people studying English. It was her best subject and her passion. And I guarantee you I'm going to set up a scholarship on behalf of her in English for this young lady. My overall impression is that Danzig community was like many other communities in this city, except it got caught in the crossfire among outsiders who had come into their neighborhood. What happened on Danzig demonstrated that some problems are bigger than Toronto community housing. It will take everyone, the company, our residents, the police, the city, local agencies, and the community to address the challenges of keeping our community safe. For example, we have zero tolerance for criminal behavior in our buildings and in our property. Zero tolerance. As soon as we learn that people are living in our buildings, are engaging in criminal activity from their homes, we act swiftly to start eviction proceedings. Also, we have redeployed as special constables in our community, safety unit, to provide a better on-the-ground presence in our community. And we maintain a close relationship with the Toronto Police Service. And we are working with our community partners to support programs that engage youth in positive activities. All youth need these types of programs, but it's particularly important in communities where youth may be tempted to follow the path that leads to gangs, crime, and violence. If Danzig was the hardest part of my first 100 days, let me tell you about one of the best parts: seeing Regent Park for the first time. In my 30 years of working in social housing in the United States, I've never seen anything like Regent Park at all. No one builds anything like Regent Park in the United States. Nowhere. You do it here in this great city in Toronto. In the United States, we build sprawl. In Regent Park, you have succeeded in building tall, well-designed, beautiful buildings. In the United States, it would have been about all replacing subsidized housing. At Regent Park, it's about transforming communities and creating better places to live. An amazing transformation is happening in the Regent Park. There is new rental housing and market condominiums, new services, new amenities, newer, safe street design, new retail business, and some 500 new local jobs. How many of you been to Regent Park lately? Show of hands. Wow. Okay. Well, I encourage you all to go out and see Regent Park if you haven't been there. It is a great, great development. When I first went out there, everyone kept on bragging about Regent Park. I said, okay, Regent Park, yeah, Regent Park. I'm thinking United States, couple hundred homes and so forth, done deal. And so when I went around the corner, I think they did it purposely for me, I saw these buildings, the community center, the arts and cultural center now. The aquatic center is getting ready to open up pretty soon. I said, wow, I could not believe it, that I'm responsible for the moving this forward in the many phases that we have to go in. I'm just so proud that something like that, someone took a chance and the community stood behind it, the residents stood behind it and got something built that's just a magnificent tribute to the City of Toronto and my staff to get something done that great. Visit the brand new Daniel Spectrum, the Arts and Cultural Center, which just opened in September. Walk through that building and you'll get it. You'll understand how revitalization is connecting Regent Park to the broader community and how doing that benefits our residents, their neighbors, and the city as a whole. Of course, Toronto Community Housing isn't doing it alone. We are working with the City of Toronto, the Daniels Corporation, our development and construction partner, and with many other partners from the private sector, the nonprofit sector, and the community. I am optimistic about social housing in Toronto because of the success of Regent Park. It is a true Toronto success story. As President and CEO, I look forward to working with others to expand our community revitalization efforts into other neighborhoods across the city on a continual basis, starting at Alexandria Park, Allenbury Gardens, Leslie Neimark, and Lawrence Heights. Believe me, Lawrence Heights is going to trump Regent Park when we get to development. Lawrence Heights is going to trump Regent Park when we develop Lawrence Heights. The people who need us most are a part of our community, and they should feel that they are part of the community. We can do that. To conclude, where there is poverty, hopelessness can easily take root. Often hopelessness can overtake a community, and it can overtake a social housing agency, an organization. But as you may recall me saying earlier, I'm an optimist. And optimism is contagious among people who care. When I met with my staff, it's clear to me that they do care very much. They care about our residents, and they care about doing a good job. We can change Toronto community housing for the better by harnessing the strength. The fact that you cared enough to listen to me today fuels my optimism. The caring and support from the wider community is a strength we can harness as well. I have led other organizations to turn around, and I strongly believe we are taking the right steps to set Toronto community housing on a new path. Where there is openness, transparency, high professional standards, and a sense of community responsibility, optimism will prevail. And that can create new opportunity, new hope, and a new purpose at Toronto Community Housing to deliver social housing better than it has ever been done before in this city. Thank you for listening.